Alright guys, welcome back to Who Would Win, where I pit two characters against one another, and I ask you guys to think who would win. And today, I've got a fight between two reptilian humanoids, Repton from Stormhawks, and Toffee from Star vs. the Forces of Evil. Yeah, two lizard men brawling it out. I just kind of thought of this on a whim, actually. I just kind of was like, well, Toffee's a badass lizard man, and Repton's a badass lizard man. What would it be like if they fought? And that was literally the consensus of doing this fight. So, Repton versus Starling. Now, yes, both are humanoid reptiles, they're both warriors, they're both intelligent, but they are also vastly different. So let's talk a bit about Toffee first. Toffee is what is known as a Septarian. Septarians are these monsters from Muni, excuse me. And yeah, if my voice sounds a little different, it's because I'm working through a bit of a head cold. Sorry about that, but yeah, Toffee is a Septarian, which are these race of monsters that are immortal, basically. They can't be killed. Although, being killed, they can die, but it clearly takes a lot of work. I mean, I'm pretty sure Repton doesn't have a ability to turn into a fairy princess and incinerate him, taste the rainbow motherfucker style. And then drop a giant column on him. So Toffee can be killed, but it's very obvious that it takes a lot. It takes a lot to kill him. Toffee is also a master strategist, and apparently an excellent warrior. He's also a multi-dimensional terrorist. He's been wanted throughout the multiverse for several criminal acts, but no one's been able to catch him. And also, Toffee is apparently an excellent swordsman and hand-to-hand fighter. He's incredibly deadly. He usually gets his enemies to do what he wants them to do. I mean, he played Star like a violin up until the end. He played all of Muni like a frickin' violin, for that matter. So Toffee is essentially a guy you don't want to fuck with. And even though we didn't see a lot of his fighting style, apparently, according to some sources, Toffee is a badass fighter. And mix that with his immortality, yeah, I wouldn't want to pick a fight with him. Repton is... so let's move on to Repton, actually. Repton is what is known in Atmos as a raptor. They are these... they live on this terra called Bogaton. They're raiders, they're rogues, they're thieves, they're barbarians, essentially. And Repton is the king of them. Now, Repton is a hulking figure. He is incredibly strong, but despite his size, he's actually incredibly agile and able to scurry up walls. Not much like a lizard, but he digs his claws into certain areas and able to scurry up walls by digging his claws into a surface and crawling on them. He's also been known to be, like I said, incredibly agile despite his, despite his wide size, and he's also very intelligent. He's also a very intelligent warrior. People tend to look at him and think he's some big dumb brute, but in reality, he does think of some really cunning plans that usually almost manage to work half the time. Although, granted, I don't know what was up with that episode of him thinking, putting on paper masks to look like the Stormhawks and fooling everyone. Then again, it works, so what the fuck do I know? Man, that episode really fucking bugs me. Anywho, but however, Repton has a bit of a temper. Repton usually lets his anger get the best of him, and he doesn't really fight much like a warrior. Well, he does fight like a warrior, but his fighting style is more like that of a brawler. He fights more like head-on, I don't really think, I'm just going to fight till you're dead. I'm just going to keep fighting till you're dead and bloody chunks in my hands. Repton also will use his tail in combat. He will use his sword that can also act as a boomerang that can cut through steel. He has also apparently been known to bite and slash. So if you disarm him, he's still got his claws and fangs to use into. Yeah, there is no doubt in my mind that Repton would grab Toffee and just bite into him and take a chunk out of him. Repton fights dirty. That's what his whole thing is that he's the king he's the king of his terra for a reason. He's brutal, he's violent, and yeah. But however, his anger makes him untempered. He usually lets his anger get the best of him, and that usually leads to his downfall. But make no mistake, you got to put a lot of effort into beating him. because Repton, also according to some sources, also has his own healing factor. Now, granted, it's not instantaneous, but he has been known to shake off some serious injuries, thus leading to that whole thing of, he can heal. But probably not as fast as Toffee, though. Again, I'm going by some Stormhawk sources. I don't know if they're credible or not, but let's, for sake of argument, let's say they are. So what would it be like if Toffee and Repton threw down? Now, like I said, Repton is a brawler. He fights like just a berserker. Toffee, I imagine, fights like a surgical knife. This dude can easily, easily make some blow for blows with Repton. However, I don't think he, Repton would be, an opponent he would want to fight head-on. I think you'd like to mess with him. Toffee would definitely keep his cool throughout the fight, whereas, like I said, Repton would just get more and more frustrated until, he makes a mistake, and that's when Toffee capitalizes on him. That's going to be a big factor, is that Toffee keeps his head in the game. Repton is more like, why won't you fucking die? And like I said, Repton could probably disembowel Toffee, and he would just be able to heal from it. But we don't know the extent of how how far that immortality can go. I mean, hell, Toffee died via, blast to the face, and even then he was still kicking up until Ludo dropped a column on him. So maybe disemboweling him and ripping his organs out might work. And like I said, Repton will easily just go for biting and slashing. Toffee seems like he needs to, look like he's more refined. So he's probably also going to play on Repton's anger. But I'm pretty sure if Repton gets a hold of Toffee, he's not going to let go. He is not going to let go, and like I said, he's probably going to take a few big bites out of him if the situation calls for it. So this would be a bloody fight. This would be a all-around bloody, gruesome. There's going to be, organs everywhere. There's going to be blood and everything. And someone's walking away with someone else's head, like a predator, in this matchup. So, I'm really curious to see, who do you guys think would win? If you think Toffee would win, put hashtag ToffeeWins, and list off the reasons why you think Toffee would come out on top in this matchup. But, however, if you think Repton would win in this matchup, put hashtag ReptonWins and list off the reasons why you think Repton would come out on top in this fight. Yeah, these two, both savage warriors, both can take a lot of punishment, and yeah, these guys are just savages in terms of combat. So I'm really curious to see what you guys have to say about this one. So you guys tell me in the comments below. What do you guys think? Who do you think would win? And once again, I hope you all enjoyed this, and I will see you guys later.